Mahomes won his second regular season MVP a little earlier, and now today, he just might win a second Super Bowl. Mahomes has had plenty of success when it comes to winning, obviously, but he's very well known for that backyard style of football. No-look passes, trick plays, fun to watch, but is it too risky? Shannon, do you like that Andy Reid is allowing Patrick Mahomes to try these passes that nobody else is doing?
I love it, because I think Andy understands this kid has a unique skill set. The best thing a head coach can do, any offensive coordinator, head coach, is says when you find a player, you don't say fit my system. Let me find out what you do really well, and I'll build the system around you. And that's what Andy Reid. This system looks a lot different than when he had Donovan McNabb. This system looks a lot different than when he had Alex Smith. Now he has a guy that can throw from different arm slots. He has a guy that can throw outside the pocket and has a unique skill set. And he allows him to flourish in that skill set. A lot of times what we do is that we try to suppress what a person is. And so now they're not allowed to grow. Patrick Mahomes still take risk. He has Juju now. He doesn't have a Tyreek Hill. He has MVS. He has a Sky Moore. He has a Kadarius Toney. None of those guys have the skill set or the ability of Tyreek. But you look at Patrick Mahomes, the most passing yards he's ever had, highest completion percentage he's ever had, QBR astronomical, and 41 touchdowns, which is the second most. He's doing the exact same thing, Skip. He's just doing it with less players than what he had with Tyreek. So I don't have a problem with Andy, because Andy understands that in order for me to maximize this young man's ability, I must let him be who he is. And that's what the really great coaches, that's what the really great coordinator does.
Okay, I hear it. And I acknowledge, I honor that Patrick Mahomes has all-time great, supreme arm talent. And he also has underrated, to me, former shortstop athletic ability.
Yes.
And that all contributes to the package that you just described. Mm-hmm. But I've told you from the start about this kid that what sells doesn't always win at the highest level in the biggest games, because all those trick shot passes that he pulls off, it'll make you an internet sensation. You can win YouTube, you can win TikTok, and you can win a whole lot of acclaim to help Andy Reid polish his offensive genius, because he gets a big kick out of what he lets this kid get away with. But I'm talking about all the no-looks. I'm talking about the left-handed passes, the shovel passes, the basketball kind of passes that he gets away with. They'll go viral, but every once in a while they become a virus that starts eating away at the interior of your team, because at the highest level, it's too dangerous for your own good. And sometimes he shoots himself in the foot with a trick shot play. We saw one in Buffalo at the end of the half where he tried to force one up, sling it into the end zone, and it got picked off in a game that they lost at home. That's the problem with him, because in the end, even Patrick Mahomes said after the Brady Super Bowl loss, he said, I had clean pockets and I should have just stayed home and thrown the football, but my instincts are to run with the football outside the pocket because I love to play backyard football. He just does. It's in his genetics. That's how he's...
I don't think anybody that watched that game thought Patrick Mahomes ever had a clean pocket. He might have had a clean pocket once or twice, but once you become afraid of a dog, once you become afraid of a snake, it's hard to break those inhibitions. It's hard to say, oh, that snake won't bite. Oh, that dog won't bite. He's a good boy. The hell you say, I've already been bitten by one. The snake has already bitten me, so I'm traumatized by what has already happened. So he gets 1, 2 clean pockets, but they've been barreling down on me for the better part of 85, 90% of the game. And you want me to say, this time, my offensive line is going to hold up. This time, the receivers are going to beat the cover.
He threw 2 very careless interceptions in that Super Bowl loss to Tom Brady. So what happened in this year's AFC Championship? Well, obviously, he finally beat Joe Burrow for the first time in 4 tries. And that was in spite of his ankle injury. I say it's because of his ankle injury, because it forced him to stay pocket bound. It forced him to clean up his act. It forced him to play boring football, to not try the careless throws that he tries and gets away with much of the time, but not all of the time. So what happened in the AFC Championship game? In the end, he didn't win it with his arm. he shocked everybody by winning it on the key play of the game down the stretch with his legs.
Yes.
It's 3rd and 4, and he bolts the pocket, and he takes off. And you can, on a bad ankle, you can usually go straight ahead okay.
Right.
And he was reasonable enough speed that he could build up, that he got to the sideline, and then he gets, obviously, personal fouled out of bounds, and it's 15 more yards. But the point is, he's been saying all week, indicating to the reporters who know him the best, they've been reporting that he's still not nearly 100% with his ankle.
Right.
I would say that's good news for Andy Reid and the Chiefs, because it might make him play more boring kind of football. Stay home, make the throws that are prescribed for you to make on time instead of trying to play backyard, make it up football.
But a lot of times, Skip, the plays that he's making, he's the only one that can make those plays.
Okay, I buy that. But in the end, at this level, against a defense that knows what it's doing, that has 2 weeks to get ready for you, you better look out. And that's why I think he's played subpar football in his first 2 Super Bowls.
Well, I know they got 2 weeks to prepare for you, too. You make it seem like you're the only one that got time to prepare.
No, and it's been great with 2 weeks to prepare.
We've been cleaning our house.
Let's talk about that right now.
46 career games with at least 300 passing yards, gentlemen. It's truly impressive.
46?
Only quarterback in the league to have that many before the age of 30. All right, we are only hours away from kickoff. Kelsey has become one of the most successful receiving tight ends in NFL history, with the 2nd most receptions, yards, and touchdowns in postseason history. Talk about clutch. Kelsey was asked this week, how do you always get open? Take a listen to his answer.
Why am I always open? I say it all the time. Andy Reid, baby. Big Red. He can dial some stuff up at the right time, create some things at the right time, and then on top of that, you know, everybody is doing their job. It's not just me just go out there and get open kind of play. I'm sure you guys like to think that, but there's a lot of madness to it. And there's a lot of guys doing their job for the big picture, and I'm fortunate that I'm playing here for sure.
High praise for the big man from Travis Kelsey. All right, Shannon, what do you make of Travis's take there?
I don't have a problem with what he said. I mean, at the end of the day, this had nothing to do with Mahomes. This wasn't a shot at Mahomes. He's trying to highlight the architect skills of one Andy Reid. I look at it like this. Does anybody know who the choreographer was for Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers?
Well, it's just way before everybody's time. They probably did at that time.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Because it was those two that was on the floor doing that. And Ginger Rogers had the harder job because she did everything that Fred Astaire did. She did it backwards and in heels. So as much as you want to highlight the choreographer, which is Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes still has the hardest job because he has to do what he does. Go through his progression. 10 guys' eyes are on him. They're trying to peel his cap, and he has to go out there, and his heart rate can't rise above 55, 60, 50 beats per minute, and go through that progression and to deliver the ball on time. Yes, Travis Kelsey. Skip, how many times we say, that was a great play design. The quarterback just missed it. That was a great play design, and the wide receiver or tight end just dropped it. We say that all the time. So you could have the greatest play design. You could have the greatest players, but if that guy does not deliver that football, Andy Reid, he had 5 seasons in which he didn't have Patrick Mahomes, and he had a good record. He was 53-27, 4 playoff berths, 2 divisional titles. In the 5 years that he had Patrick Mahomes, he's been in the AFC Championship game every single year. He's won the division every single year. He's gone to the Super Bowl 3 of those 5 years. Patrick Mahomes has 2 MVPs in those 5 seasons. He's led the league in passing 2 of the 5 seasons. I don't really know what else there's there to say. I get that Kelsey is hyping the architect of this. But at the end of the day, architect can do whatever you want. Who's the builder? Who's throwing that ball? That's one Patrick Mahomes. That's what that is, Skip Bayless.
I do have a problem with what Travis Kelsey said, but I also love it because it was a big whoops. It was Travis Kelsey blurting the dangerous truth about what is actually going on here. And I believe back in